Good Michael, look you to the guard tonight. Let's teach ourselves that honor will stop, not to outsport discretion.
Iago hath direction what to do, but notwithstanding with my personal eye, will I look to it?
Iago is most honest. Michael, good night. Tomorrow at your earliest, let me have speech with you. Come, my dear love. The purchase made, the fruits are to ensue. The profits yet to come between me and you. Good night. Welcome, Iago. We must to the watch.
Not this hour, Lieutenant. 'Tis yet 10 o'clock. Our general casts us thus early for the love of his Desdemona, who let us not therefore blame. He hath not yet made wanton the night with her, and she is sport for Jove.
She is a most exquisite lady.
And I warrant her full of game.
Indeed, she is a most fresh and delicate creature.
What an eye she has! Methinks it sounds a parley to provocation.
An inviting eye, and yet methinks right modest.
And when she speaks, it is not an alarm to love.
She is indeed perfection.
Well, happiness to their sheets. Come, Lieutenant, I have a stoup of wine, and here without are a brace of cypress gallants that would fain have a measure to the health of black Othello.
Not tonight, good Iago. I have very poor and unhappy brains for drinking. I could well wish courtesy would invent some other custom of entertainment.
Oh, they are our friends, but one cup. I'll drink for you.
I've drunk but one cup tonight, and I was crafty qualified too, and behold, what innovation it makes here. I am unfortunate in the infirmity, and dare not task my weakness with any more.
What, man? 'Tis a night that revels the gallants desire it?
Where are they?
Here at the door, I pray you, call them in.
I do it, but it dislikes me.
If I can fasten but one cup upon him, with the which he hath drunk tonight already, he'll be as full of quarrel and offence as my young mistress dog. Now my sick fool Rodrigo, whom love hath turned almost the wrong side out, to Desdemona hath tonight caroused, potations pottle deep, and he's to watch. 3 lads of Cyprus, a noble swelling spirit, that hold their honors in a wary distance. The very elements of this warlike isle I tonight flustered with flowering cups, and they watch too. Now, mongst the flocks of drunkards, am I to put our Cassio in some action, that they may offend the isle? But here they come, if a conscience do approve my dream. My boat sails freely, but both with wind and stream.
For God, they have given me a rouse already.
Good faith, a little one, not past a pint, as I am a soldier. Some wine, ho! Let me cankle clink, clink, let me cankle clink, a soldier's man, a man. A life but a span, why then let a soldier drink? Some wine, boys.
For God, an excellent song.
I learned it in England, where indeed they are most potent in potting. Your Dane, your German, your swag-bellied Hollander, drink ho, are nothing to your English.
Is your Englishman so expert in his drinking?
Why, he drink you with facility, your Dane dead drunk. He sweats not to overthrow your Almain. He gives your Hollander a vomit ere the next bottle can be filled.
To the health of our general.
I am for it, Lieutenant, and I do you justice. O sweet England! King Stephen was a worthy peer, his breeches cost him but a crown. He held them 6 pence all too dear, with that he'd call the tailor lown. He was wit of him high renown, and thou art but a low degree. 'Tis is pride that pulls the country down, then take thine auld cloak about thee. Some wine, ho!
Why, this is more exquisite song than the other.
Will you hear it again?
No, for I hold him to be unworthy of his place that does those things. Well, God's above all, and there must be souls must be saved, and there be souls must not be saved.
It is true, good Lieutenant.
For mine own part, no offense to the general, nor any man of quality, I hope to be saved.
And so do I, too, Lieutenant.
Aye, but by your leave, not before me. The lieutenant is to be saved before the ancient. Let's have no more of this. Let's to our affairs. God forgive us our sins. Gentlemen, let's look to our business. Do not think, gentlemen, I am drunk. This is my ancient. This is my right hand, and this is my left. I am not drunk now. I can stand well enough and speak well enough. Excellent, well. Why, very well then. You must not think then that I am drunk.
Yes. To the platform, masters. Come, let's set the watch. You see this fellow that is gone before? He is a soldier fit to stand by Caesar, and gives direction and do but see his vice. 'Tis to his virtue a great equix. The one as long as the other. 'Tis a pity of him. I fear the trust Othello puts in him on the some odd time of his infirmity will shake this island. But is he often thus? 'Tis evermore the prologue to his sleep. He'll watch the horloge a double set, if a drink rock not his cradle. It were well the general put in mind of it. Perhaps he sees it not, or his good nature. Prize the virtue that appears in Cassio, and looks not on his evils. Is not this true? How now, Rodrigo? I pray you, after the lieutenant, go. Oh shoot, we forgot to turn him back. And it is great pity that the noble Moor should hazard such a place as his own second with one of ingraft infirmity. It were an honest action to say so to the Moor. Not I, for this fair island I do love Cassio well, and would do much to cure him of this evil. But hark, what noise?
Help, help! Zounds, you rogue, you rascal.
What's the matter, Lieutenant?
A knave teach me my duty, but I'll beat the knave into a wicker bottle. Beat me? Dost thou prate, rogue?
Nay, good lieutenant, I pray you, sir, hold your hand.
Let me go, sir. I'll knock you over the mazzard.
Come, come, you're drunk.
Drunk.
Nay, good lieutenant, good God's will, gentlemen. Help, ho, lieutenant, sir, Montano, sir. Help, masters. Here's a goodly watch indeed. Ding! Who's that rings the bell? Diaba ho, the town will rise. God's will, lieutenant, hold, you'll be shamed forever.
What is the matter here?
Zounds, I bleed still. I am hurt to the death.
Hold for your lives.
Hold, ho, lieutenant, sir. Montano, gentlemen, have you forgot all sense of place and duty? Hold, the general speaks to you. Hold for shame.
Why, how now, hold? From whence ariseth this? Are we turned Turks, and to ourselves do that, which heaven hath forbid the Edomites? For Christian shame, but put by this barbarous brawl. He that stirs next to carve for his own rage, holds his soul light. He dies upon his motion. Silence that dreadful bell. It frights the isle from her propriety. What is the matter, masters? Honest Iago, that looks dead with grieving. Speak, who begins? On thy love, I charge thee.
I do not know. Friends all but now, even now, in quarter, and in terms like bride and groom, divesting them for bed, then, but now, as if some planet had unwitted men, swords out, tilting one at other's breast, in opposition bloody. I cannot speak any beginning to this peevish odds, and would in action glorious I had lost, thus legs that bought me to a part of it.
How comes it, Michael, you are thus forgot? I pray you, pardon me, I cannot speak. Worthy Montano, you won't be civil. The gravity and stillness of your youth, the world hath noted, and your name is great. In mouths of wisest censor, what's the matter, that you unlace your reputation thus, and spend your rich opinion for the name of a knight brawler? Give me answer to it.
Worthy Othello, I am hurt to danger. Your officer, Iago, can inform you, while I spare speech, which something now offends me, of all that I do know, nor know I ought. By me that's said or done amiss this night, unless self-charity be sometimes a vice, and to defend ourselves be a sin, when violence assails us.
Now, by heaven, my blood begins my safer guides to rule, and passion having my best judgment collied, essays to lead the way. If I once stir, or do but lift this arm, the best of you shall sink in my rebuke. Give me to know how this foul rout began, who set it on, and he that is proved in this offense, though he had twinned with me, both at birth, shall lose me. What? In a town of war, yet wild, the people's hearts brimful of fear, to manage private and domestic quarrel, in night and on the court and guard of safety. 'Tis the monstrous Iago who began it.
Touch me not so near. I had rather have this tongue cut from my mouth than it should do offence to Michael Cassio. Yet I persuade myself to speak the truth. Shall nothing wrong him? Thus it is, General. Montano and myself being in speech, there comes Othello crying out for help, and Cassio following him with a determined sword to execute upon him. Sir, this gentleman steps into Cassio and entreats his pause. Myself the crying fellow did pursue, lest by his clamor, as it so fell out, the town might fall in fright. So he, swift of foot, outran my purpose, and I returned the rather, for that I heard the clink and fall of swords, and Cassio high in oath, which till to-night I never might say before. When I came back, for this was brief, I found them close together at blow and thrust, even at again they were. When you yourself did part them, more of this matter cannot I report. But men are men, the best sometimes forget, though Cassio did some little wrong to him, as men in rage strike those that wish them best. Yet surely Cassio, I believe, received from him that flood some strange indignity, which patience could not pass.
I know, Iago, thy honesty and love doth mince this matter. Make it light to Cassio. Cassio, I love thee, but nevermore be officer of mine. Look, if my gentle love be not raised up, I'll make thee an example. What's the matter? All's well now, sweeting. Come away to bed. Sir, for your hurts, myself be your surgeon. Lead him off. Iago, look with care about the town, and silence those whom this vile brawl distracted. Come, Desdemona, 'tis the soldier's life to have their balmy slumbers walked with strife.
What, are you hurt, Lieutenant?
Aye, past all surgery.
Mary, heaven forbid.
Reputation, reputation, reputation. Oh, I have lost my reputation. I have lost the immortal part of myself, and what remains is bestial. My reputation, Iago, my reputation.
As I am an honest man, I thought you had received some bodily wound. There is more sense in that than in reputation. Reputation is an idle and most false imposition, oft gone without merit and lost without deserving. You have lost no reputation at all, unless you repute yourself such a loser. What man? There are ways to recover the general again. You are but now cast in his mood, a punishment more in policy than in malice. Even so, as one would beat his offenceless dog to affright an impetuous lion. Sue to him again, and he is yours.
I would rather sue to be despised than to deceive so good a commander with so slight, so drunken, and so indiscreet an officer. Drunk, and speak parrot, and squabble, swagger, swear, and discourse frustrien with one's own shadow. O thou invisible spirit of wine, if thou hast no name to be known, let us call thee devil.
What was he that you followed with your sword? What had he done to you?
I know not.
Is it possible?
I remember a mass of things, but nothing distinctly. A quarrel, but nothing wherefore. O God, that men should put an enemy in their mouths to steal away their brains, that we should with joy, pleasure, revel, and applause, transform ourselves into beasts.
Why, but you are now well enough, and how came you thus recovered?
It hath pleased the devil drunkenness to give place to the devil wrath. One unperfectness shows me not, to make me frankly despise myself.
Come, you are too severe a moraler. As the time, the place, and the condition of this country stands, I could heartily wish this had not befallen, but since it is as it is, mend it for your own good.
I will ask him for my place again. He shall tell me I am drunkard. Had I as many mouths as Heiser, such an answer would stop them all. To be now a sensible man, by and by a fool, and presently a beast. Oh, strange, every inordinate cup is unblessed, and the ingredient is devil.
Come, come, good wine is a good familiar creature. If it be well used, exclaim no more against it. Ah, good lieutenant, I think you think I love you.
I well approved it, sir. I drunk.
You or any man living may be drunk at some time, man. I'll tell you that you shall do, our general's what you shall do. Our general's wife is now the general. I may say so in this respect, for that he hath devoted and given up himself to the contemplation, mark, and denotement of her parts and graces. Confess yourself freely to her, importune her help to put you in your place again. She is of so free, so kind, so apt, so blessed a disposition. She holds it a vice in her goodness not to do more than she has requested. This broken joint between you and her husband entreat her to splinter, and my fortunes against any lay worth naming. This crack of your love shall grow stronger than it was before.
You advise me well.
I protest in the sincerity of love and honest kindness.
I think it freely.
And betimes in the morning I will beseech the virtuous Desdemona to undertake her for me. I am desperate of my fortunes if they check me here.
You are in the right. Good night, Lieutenant. I must to the watch.
Good night, honest
Iago.
And what he then that says I played the villain? When this advice is free, I give an honest, probable to thinking and deed the course, to win the more again, for is most easy the inclining Desdemona to subdue. In an honest suit, she framed as fruitful as the free elements, and for her to win the more were to renounce his baptism, all seals and symbols of redeemed sin. His soul is so unfettered to her love that she make and unmake do what she list, even as her appetite shall play the god with his weak function. How am I then a villain to counsel Cassio to this parallel course, directly to his good divinity of hell? When devils will the blackest of sins put on, they do suggest at first with heavenly shows, as I do now. For while this honest fool plies Desdemona to repair his fortune, and she for him pleads strongly to the more, I'll pour this pestilence in his ear, that she repeals him for her body's lust, and by how much she strives to do him good, she shall undo her credit with the more. So will I turn her virtue into pitch, and out of her own goodness make the net that shall enmesh them all. How now, Rodrigo?
I do follow here in the chase, not like a hound that hunts, but one that fills up the cry. My money is almost spent. I have been tonight exceedingly well cudgelled, and I think this issue will be. I shall have so much experience for my pains, and so, with no money at all, and a little more wit, return again to Venice.
How poor are you that they have not patience? What wound did ever heal but by degrees? Thou know'st me, we work by wit, not by witchcraft, and wit depends on dilatory time. Does not go well, Cassio hath beaten thee, and thou by that small hurt hast cashiered Cassio. Through other things grow fair against the sun, yet fruits that blossom first will first be ripe. Content thyself a while, by the mass 'tis is morning. Pleasure and action make the hours seem short. Retire thee, go where thou art billeted. Away, I say, thou shalt no more hereafter. Nay, get thee gone. Move for Cassio to her mistress, I'll set her on. Myself the while to draw them more apart, and bring him jump when he may Cassio find soliciting his wife. Aye, that's the way. Dull not device by coldness and delay.